He'll show up.
I would love
Misa
to
back.
see him.
Annie, I missed you. Annie, also Waka. Bigga poopa.
Well, no, there's a different word for doo-doo, isn't there?
Yeah, he says doo-doo.
Oh.
He goes,
Yeah,
Gungan doo-doo.
Yeah, he's like, you saw a big doo-doo this time.
Yeah, he goes, no, you and doo-doo.
You know what it should be? Jar Jar should mean doo-doo.
Oh, they change it so the Jar Jar is
Yeah.
like a slur. And, like,
Jacob.
Welcome to Funhaus, everybody. This week's episode is sponsored by Raycon. I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on the show. I've got my buds Elise, Adam, and Jacob with me.
Misa, friend. Or, I don't know. What's your Star Wars reference?
public credits.
Now, Elise.
Oh,
I have the high chair. I don't. The same as your chair.
hello there. I'm Daniel. I've got my Star Wars experts today. I think a lot of you know Disney dropped some serious news at D23, some new trailers. We've got a Mandalorian trailer, some new teases for the next Star Wars episode. So we're going to dedicate today's show to talking about Star Wars.
Trek. Oh,
Finally.
dang it.
You're going to do a switcheroo?
Yeah. What?
Have you been watching that Star Trek show?
Hell no.
Yeah, no one has.
Because you have to have CBS All Access.
Yeah.
or-
Exactly.
Go through a tomb and solve a puzzle to get to it.
You think I'm going to cancel my Pornhub Premium or whatever for CBS All Access? Good luck.
I'm saving myself for Disney Plus.
Oh,
Is
God.
there any actor that has appeared within both the Star Wars and Star Trek universe?
Chris Pine. I just guessed. I don't know. Probably not. no.
Probably.
There's maybe an Edgerton in there too.
You would think, but
Oh.
is there though?
So, fun fact for you, everyone out there, because I read way too much IMDb trivia. ILM did both the special effects for Star Trek, the movies, and Star Wars. So there's always a little bit of Easter eggs in each one.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like little ship reuses or something?
Yeah, I think, what is it, episode 2?
Are
Maybe.
you talking about Star Trek or?
In episode 2 Star Wars, there's some Star Trek ships floating around because there's just so many.
I know in 2009 Star Trek there was an R2-D2 floating around in the garbage somewhere.
There you go.
You would never see.
Yeah, I know.
So-
No, they're supposed to hate each other, but they love each other.
So this big teaser they sent us started with about a minute of clips from all the other movies. Think there's anything secret hidden in here?
Just to
Any
get some time
allusions
in.
to what we should
Yeah.
No?
I mean, it's weird to create a montage of Star Wars moments because it's so iconic, it's so well known. So I have to think that there's some selectivity to what they're choosing here, but I don't know what it is.
Okay.
This
And
is-
I mean, I don't know if they're just here's the rundown of what happened.
Yeah, for clarity, we're watching the episode 9 teaser, right?
Yeah, the one
This
they
is
just
this isn't the Mandalorian.
No.
No.
Okay.
We're going to start with 9.
They seem to pick
Oh.
generally iconic
Rise of
moments.
Skywalker.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's not as much
Yeah.
here's what happened last time on Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like just to stoke the flames a little bit for
It's like, here's-
the
yeah,
10
here's that-
seconds of new stuff.
Yeah, that great
Previously
Mace
on
Windu
Star Wars.
moment you remember.
Window flies out it flies out the window.
Yeah, I was gonna say his
To-
worst enemy.
To answer your question, Dan, and I think Elise was hit the nail on the head. It's much easier to make a trailer when you have a lot of nostalgia building up, a la Avengers Endgame, when you can just show the same shots that you've already seen but in black and white. And then you go, oh yeah, and then you let the nostalgia bomb hit.
Yeah, everyone's getting pumped as they're watching this.
Yep. And then that way you only need to show 20 seconds of footage, maybe. Also, but I think it accomplishes two things. One, you don't have to show too much, and two, you don't spoil that many things, which I was thankful for with the Avengers trailer.
Did you see the post that the CG, his cape is CG
Oh
in
yeah,
that scene?
you can't see it in the
Yeah, because
reflection.
there's a puddle, and you can't see his cape.
Oh wow!
It looks
Yeah.
really good for
Yeah.
a CG cape, that's for sure.
yeah.
It'll be fixed by the end. I mean, if
Yeah.
they can Photoshop out a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, it's not totally uncommon for trailers to have stuff like that that's not finished. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Thanks for ruining the movie for me. Wait, what if he's force projecting
The
a
cape?
Oh, but he didn't think to project the reflection.
He's force projecting his pants. he's naked from the waist down.
Yeah, as soon as he dies, finally, they just disappear.
Yeah, into the force.
Yeah.
It's like, Ray, look again. Look at my pants. Ray, he's force hard.
D2's being fucky here.
What do you mean? You're upset that they're not showing the end where she has two sabers?
There we go.
That turns into
Clink.
one?
Is
That's-
Rey the Sith? I don't know.
I guess that's the big question, right? It's a really smart tease that they threw in at the end of the trailer, just to make people talk about it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. I mean, okay.
She goes.
Which makes me think it has to be a bait and switch.
Right. People are saying it's
Misdirection.
a force vision or one of those many things, but hey, we haven't seen a double-sided lightsaber in Star Wars in almost a decade.
It's been so long.
It's pretty cool, and it's also it's all it's flowing like
Kylo
Kylo's,
Renny,
where it's like
Unbalanced, or was it a
Yeah.
cracked gem or something?
that's a kyber
Jacob?
crystal.
Poor craftsmanship.
crystal.
I think it was a cracked
Purple.
crystal or something like that.
If you use a cracked kyber crystal at Star Wars Land when you buy your $250 lightsaber, does it look like that?
Well, will someone be like, I know who your parents are, Ray Maul? And we'll go, what? And then she'll go,
Man, what a good twist.
yeah.
Oh,
And then we'll go,
interesting.
that sucks.
Well, people are saying like, well, most notably John Smith's like, it's a clone or it's a vision.
He said it was a clone of Shmi Skywalker
Yeah.
specifically.
The Emperor went
okay.
and took her DNA before she was kidnapped,
All right.
That's
and then cloned her.
It's a new one. It's up there with Jar Jar
That's-
almost.
man, that's a damn. That's a J.J. Abrams level. Like, what if? Because you're right though, Dan, or someone said it. They're showing a lot of clips, like everything. They're acknowledging the prequels, which none of the other movies did, aside by
Yeah.
saying Clone Army.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're even showing it in a trailer is like, well, maybe they're dipping real hard
Yeah.
into all the new trilogy stuff.
They're also showing
Clone's a pretty
everything.
Prequels
stupid
are-
plot device,
Yeah.
if you ask me.
I'm sorry.
They're also showing all the clips in order, like
Oh, that they
chronological
were
order.
shot?
Yeah, or not chronological order, but by movie.
us.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
by movie release.
I don't know. This was my theory is that Ryan Johnson fucked up so bad by going in his diverging so hard that they're like, oh my god, we have to. You were upset when you thought Force Awakens was a remake of A New Hope. Just wait for this movie. It's
it
gonna
just-
have everything.
Are we gonna get some Ewoks?
Yes.
Oh, there's got to be Ewoks.
Name something else that was controversial or weird in the Star Wars universe, because it's there.
Well, I'm thinking JJ will do his thing where he just echoes Return of the Jedi as much as possible.
That's what I think he'll do.
Mhm.
I think he has to.
And it's
because
interesting.
he's got to make up for the mess.
It'd be interesting if she died or something at the end of this movie.
That'd be great. They
I
don't-
don't think she
Ouch.
will though.
No.
I
I
think
don't think they have the
they'll.
balls to
I
do
think
that.
akin to Return of the Jedi, they'll want to wrap it up in a nice storybook
Yeah.
ending.
And it is Disney too.
Yeah.
Endless optimism forever.
You're right.
So will it be disappointing if the movie is essentially her bringing Kylo back from the dark side?
What if they switch?
I mean, that would be cool. Did they have time to do something like that in a 2-hour movie? Have her go to the dark side and back?
I don't think so.
It's just a lot to do. Like, they could have done that in
Personally.
this trilogy.
Yeah.
If they had done some of that in the last episode.
Like if the last one ended with her being bad or something, and then this one was some kind of dealing with
So
that, but that won't happen.
That was the bait and switch in the Last Jedi trailer when he does the shot and he's like, Ray, take my hand.
I like your Adam Driver.
And then she goes, no, I won't do it anymore. But her teeth kept clinking because they're so big. And it looked like, oh, they're about to form an alliance because he goes, I mean, great scene, by the way. I loved it when he goes, I'm tired. I'm tired of all this. I killed my dad. I don't want to be here no more. And he's like, let's go do our own thing. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And then she goes, no, I fight for the rebels. And he's like, whatever.
You are lost. Is what she says.
Did she say that?
No, Ian McGregor says
Oh,
that.
she quotes her dad, Obi Wan Kenobi.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
He was a good Jedi. He would have never had
Might have been the
consensual
best.
sex.
Mhm. He had a crush.
Oh, that's right. They're not allowed to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole
It's
story
frowned
of that
upon.
segment.
That's what makes it taboo.
Just frowned upon.
Totally fine to have a little boy follow you around though with a ponytail. He's my Padawan. We travel together everywhere. Weird.
No wonder they're all so angry,
Yeah,
fighting with
seriously.
each other.
Sexually
So
frustrated.
frustrated and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go spend some time with the younglings. I'll be right back. Like, oh, big
Gross.
scandal in the Star Wars universe.
I'd be really interested to see if this movie does something to eradicate the notion of light and dark and to find the true balance. Because
That seems to be the major theme, right?
that's been
Yeah.
the narrative of these last two movies prior to this, and
the duality of the Force.
The
and
duality,
the balance of the Force.
because it was always like, well, you didn't actually bring balance to the Force. You were supposed to bring balance, Anakin. Oh, whoops, you didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, now maybe balance is not what we think it is.
Yeah.
And maybe these things.
Luke kind of talked about that in The Last Jedi, which I liked. Him talking about how the Jedi were arrogant for like claiming dominion over this whole part of the Force.
Mm-hmm. And then Yoda comes out and goes, "It matters not, whatever."
Yeah, lightning bolts.
Burn that shit.
Yoda the book burner.
Yeah, it was great. He's like, "But Master Yoda, the books." He's like, "Whatever."
Breaking you
I've
out.
got them memorized. I have.
Ryan Johnson, madman he is. Just crazy shit. I was down for that. I think we talked about that ad nauseum with Last Jedi, like just over and over, where I think like Lawrence was definitely speculating on that, where they were going to talk more about the Force is like a farce and we should ignore it or embrace the gray, so to speak.
Yeah, may the Force be with you.
But instead the movie ended with them going, and we're back to where we started, where it's Kylo Ren is now Emperor Supreme or whatever, and
Is that a Taco Bell item?
and then Rey and the 6 remaining rebels will continue fighting for justice. You're like, I just love it, like, victory. We did it. You're all dead. It's there. Who is fighting for what? Like it's all very confusing. Anyway, it looks like a bunch of like rich kids playing cowboys and Indians, especially when you have Benicio del Toro being like,
Oh, his bad stutter.
well, but he hit on a really interesting point. Like the movie kept trying to hit these interesting moments where they're like, hey, look, this guy sold ships to the Emperor. Wow, how evil. Oh, he also sold ships to the rebels or the resistance. So no one's good.
He will bring balance to the Force.
Didn't their trusting of that guy essentially lead to the death of the Resistance? Like thousands of people died because they trusted Benicio del Toro.
I watched it again like a couple of months ago.
A real bad mistake.
And there's no way out of reasoning that like Rose and Finn just like fuck everything up by trusting Benicio del Toro.
I mean, just by their very existence ruined so many lives. Haldo could still be with us.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah. What color would her hair of Laura Dern's hair could we have gotten in this
I
new
did like
puppet
her
film?
a lot.
Yeah.
I actually thought she was great.
Yeah.
But once again, going back to like the Red Letter Media breakdown they did, which I love that video. The Plinkett reviews are always the best thing ever. But she kept being like, no, trust me, listen to me. And it's like his character's, no, I'm gonna go do my own thing. Like, number one, if he had just done what he was told, things would have been fine. Number two, if she had just told him what she wanted and that there was a plan instead of keeping things secret for the sake of movie, probably would have had a more interesting film going on.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe less interesting. What do I know?
Back to Darth Rey.
Yeah.
There is no way it's happening, right? It's got to be a vision or something.
I think
Kind of like Luke had on Dagobah with Darth Vader.
What's the double switcheroo?
What's the double switcheroo?
They showed us because they go, no one's going to think this is real. And then we see it and it is real. But they're movies, so it's all fake.
my initial thought about that was like, oh yeah, it'll probably be like a vision, like just like you said, like with Luke in the cave. But I felt like Last Jedi already did the cave thing.
True.
So
That's right. She had that vision of herself.
yeah.
Like dozens of herself.
So unless like they just don't give a shit when they're making this, which that may very well be the case.
There's a history of that.
Like
Yeah.
it might be. This is kind of jumble around in my head a little bit. Like it might be something like maybe Palpatine's doing it. He's making some kind of evil manifestation of her like worst like aspects or something. Because like she's got the angry lightsaber like Kylo Ren, so it's kind of a reflection of him in her and stuff.
Might seem silly, but on the notion of destroying the concept of balance, if she does tap into the dark side of the Force, but then uses it for perceived good,
Oh.
like to create a gray, like I don't know. It could be. Yes, she's tapping into the dark side, but not in the way you think. Jacob, I am like dying to know if there's anything you've gleaned from this trailer that you have theories on.
Oh, well, there's the part coming up.
Why see 3PO's eyes red?
Yeah.
Oh man, I really hope they just go murder
Sith
bot with him.
3PO?
Yeah, move over,
Why didn't I
Jar
tweet
Jar.
that?
Yeah, so go back to the Star Destroyers, Dan.
Is this what you
Rewind. I talked to you about a little bit about this earlier. I mean, we've got a bunch of old ships. Like these aren't First Order Star Destroyers. These are like old trilogy Star Destroyers that are all lined up here.
Well, as we learned from the Star Wars Battlefront 2 single player, Operation Cinder was Palpatine's plan, which also makes no sense. Where he says, "Hey, if we lose,
Burn it all.
Win."
Yeah.
Was basically what he says. He's like, if all goes to hell and I die, you guys destroy all the rebels. And they're like, but we lost. And he's like, doesn't matter.
It's great. I've read so many like novels that involve Operation Cinder, just trying to make it make sense.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
It's more of like, if we win and I die, do this. That makes sense. You're leaving a contingency plan. But if it's like, it's really weird. It's like if Hitler had a plan. He goes, if I die and we lose, this is what you do, Nazis. And they're like, in the Nuremberg trials, like, is this part of your plan, boss? This is what you wanted?
So there is a bunch of new canon stuff about Palpatine having contingency, like Cinder's one of them, and then just sending all that's left of the Empire out into the unknown regions to like hide and rebuild and stuff.
So that's what these ships
I think
are.
this might be part of that. Like, it's kind of hard to see in this shot because of the darkness, but there's like kind of a red stripe along the edge of the Star Destroyer.
Here.
And in the previous trailer that came out, there's like a shot of an A-wing crashing, and it flies by what looks like one of these Star Destroyers, and it's got that red stripe on it. And there hasn't been any footage of them yet, but like they made a big deal about revealing the Sith troopers, those like stormtroopers that are all
ones?
red and stuff. So I think maybe in this movie there's some kind of secret army that Kylo Ren found or something. And all this, these are old Star Destroyers filled with those Sith troopers.
What if it's led by the Rey clone that is evil? Oh yeah. So
Have you heard of Luke?
right. That's from the old novels.
the old Thrawn trilogy. It's a clone of Luke, and it's got 2 U's in it. He's Luke.
You could have probably got the same conclusion with an umlaut or something.
Probably. So in that old Thrawn trilogy, isn't I was reading about this. I don't know this, by the way, but there was a bunch of Star Destroyers hidden off in some secret part of the galaxy that were all controlled by one special Star Destroyer or something like that.
Something like that.
Oh.
It's
So like
really
one
long
ship
time.
could control all of them.
Is this like
and then there
this-
was a weapons race to get to whoever could control
Is this
them
like
all.
the Sentinel from the X-Men that makes more Sentinels?
Master Mold? Or
Is that his? Yeah, like
something like
Master
that.
Mold.
He's like an ant giving birth. It's just your job is to sit here, eat honey, and
He's like, I'm the most powerful X-Man.
There's also that old, I don't know if it's the same ship, but it looks like Tantive 4 from A New Hope.
Yes, I picked up on that as well.
What?
Yeah, the blockade runner.
Explain?
The first ship you see in a Star Wars movie. Yeah, that
This
one.
thing?
Yeah.
It's like a famous ship.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that Leia's on.
I remember it as Darth Vader holding his fist going, dang it, and not getting sucked out into
his
space.
cape flowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
In the space breeze.
I'm being facetious. I don't care about space law in this fantasy space movie. I don't want realism.
Is
It's
this-
okay if you have bombers go by and drop bombs in space because there's no gravity.
They have magnets, Adam. They shoot them out of magnets.
Yeah,
Is that true?
that's why they didn't say it in the
think so.
movie.
Yeah, they did not say it.
No, you can reverse justify anything. I don't
Yeah.
care. It's fine.
Is this all that's left of the Resistance here?
That's it. That's all of them.
Yeah, it's like a whole alphabet.
It's like
in
2
there.
dozen.
Most of those are driven by droids.
They do have one of every ship still somehow.
You got an X, a Y, and a B, and an A.
Gotta sell those toys.
See them all
maybe.
back there. Yeah, I mean, sell toys of what already exists.
Yeah.
Put a red stripe on it, man.
Yeah, that's
So this is what I'm stoked about.
Yeah.
We get evil C-3PO. What did you call him?
Call them Sith 3PO.
Sith
But now I
3PO,
wish
yeah.
I had saved that for a tweet.
you got time.
But I'm sure
Yeah.
people have already made that pun. I have to imagine they have.
I haven't seen
So
it yet.
the day before this came out, Jacob and I were actually talking about evil C-3PO. 'Cause Didn't they
A
do
little
that
bit.
as a
It was in a
again extended lore that I'm not.
It was
sure
like an
about.
old expanded universe thing. It was really dumb. It was like he was
How
called
dare you.
C3PX. Yeah, Google him. And he straight up just has an X on his head and looks angrier. It has guns.
What does he do?
I think he worked for Darth Maul or something.
Well, okay.
Does he still talk like, oh, I killed them all?
Crazy thought. Here, one of the biggest wastes of that's just terrible. I mean, he looks. I guess you can't make C-3PO look cool
No.
because he walks like he's holding a loaf. Best friends
He's just
forever.
got a Band-Aid on his head.
Yeah, it's
Per-
an X.
Perpetually smiling,
What is this?
but that's a.
Is that a head of the IG-88
It's like
thing
it's
or
like
a
a
rocket?
harpoon
RPG or
gun.
something.
Okay. big waste of time in episode 1. They're like, bet you didn't know Darth Vader built C-3PO. Remember?
How could I not?
When the two petter ass Jedi visit this little boy and they go, he'll do fine, and he's got like highlight equipment and a bunch of other painted shit that they're like, this looks like it's from space, but they're also just like, I don't know, rackets in European
those
sports
racket
leagues.
things you fling balls with that are just painted gray.
That and Lady Remington's, what have you. Regardless, he goes, hi, I'm Anakin. I built C-3PO all by my own. This is C-3PO, that robot you know and love forever. And you're like, oh my God, they're going to have to pay this off in a big way. And then they didn't.
But maybe they do.
So
maybe
perhaps-
Vader's like hacking him from
Perhaps
beyond the
there's a
grave.
scene where Vader goes, he says like, Master, they're always running around with this robot. And guess what? I built him, and there's a backdoor I know about that can make him into C-3PX or whatever. And
C-3PO.
I can download your consciousness into C-3PO, and you'll live forever.
Well, that's where we get the Emperor back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been hiding inside 3PO the whole time. That's why he's got the red arm.
The
red arm's
his Emperor
gone.
was showing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
To sell more toys.
he even brings it up, and he's like, I have a red arm. I bet you're curious about that. And they're like, read the comic to find out more. Which is
Absolutely.
what
Did
happened,
that
right?
pop on
And
the
that's what you did?
bottom
No.
screen?
Whoa. So
How
you don't
did
know
it
why?
happen?
Yeah, why
I'm still catching up on a lot of current stuff. It's a lot.
Okay.
So you don't even know how he got the red
Well,
arm?
By the end of
Jacob?
that movie, he had a gold arm again.
Oh.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. There's like a shot at the end where he's just like, bye-bye, and he's got a golden arm.
Man.
Oh.
I'm hoping those red eyes flicker on and like Jake Lloyd's voice comes out. Yippee!
That poor kid was
Yeah.
like heavily medicated because
Yeah.
people yelled at the little girl from Avengers Endgame who played Tony Stark's daughter.
Really?
And people were upset at her for not being more like in character or something like that. They're like, yeah, we met her at a park and she was just being a kid. She wouldn't do the thing.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
lying.
Do the
I love you
thing.
5,000.
Yeah. Say the line. And she's like, I'm far. So imagine that.
Don't you want a burger?
Yeah, but imagine that. But then the amazing Star Wars fan base screaming at Jake Lloyd saying how he ruined Star
Oh my
Wars.
gosh. It's awful.
It's not his fault.
No, he didn't
Not
put
at
himself
all.
in that movie.
No, he didn't
No,
write
his
his
parents
lines.
did.
Well,
par-
and Jorge Lucas.
Yeah, he had a bad age.
So, is there another like stupid orbital super weapon again? Like, can they possibly do that again?
I don't.
Yeah.
Another
They showed-
planet-destroying weapon.
They
Yeah.
showed like a picture of some like Star Destroyer with big guns on it. That looks like what that is.
This one's bigger, but it's
Okay.
half completed,
Okay. Whereas-
and they have to
only
fly
half?
inside of it. Well, I don't know. What was it in Last Jedi or Return of the Jedi?
Return of the Jedi. They just had another Death Star.
Yeah, but it was like half complete, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, looked cool. But
It
it's
did look
bigger.
cool.
It's
It
bigger
was
than
bigger.
ever. Yeah,
Um,
easier to get inside.
so they
of.
showed that ice planet a few times, and I think that's where like Carrie Russell's character
Oh yeah,
comes in.
the
'cause we've
new
seen
bounty
nothing of
hunter.
her except a picture
This.
of her costume. Yeah, look, we've got Kylo Ren looking all cool and stuff.
Do you think they switched the scar back to the way JJ had it in the first one?
Oh, he just like just spite moves the scar over.
Well, I had heard Ryan Johnson's like, hey, we need to move the scar because it looks weird. And then J.J. Abrams was like, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care. I'm making something else.
Yeah.
He's like, you'll do great. And then he saw it and went, you didn't do so great. Let's fix this movie.
I do like that she's got kind of like a travel saber that she can collapse and.
Like a toothbrush.
Yeah.
It looks fucking stupid. I think.
Well, I mean, hey, they said the same thing about Kylo Ren's saber when
Yeah.
it first came out. They're like, it's so impractical, it looks dumb, and it ended up being one of the most badass things in the new trilogy.
Well,
But
that's been a lot of. They've actually done this in all those TV shows and stuff. A lot of characters with double sabers have them fold in half in the middle.
Oh, okay.
so my thought is, hear me out.
It's just sorry. With all their advanced technology, they could come up with something better than like.
It's fantasy. My thought is, it's two sabers, and you never use it in that regard where you're holding the two. I don't know, using like a trombone, I guess, but you put them together, and then you let it snap out into the Darth Maul saber.
That doesn't
say
even
fight
look
with
like
it like
her.
this.
That doesn't even look like Daisy Ridley's face, does it?
No, not
No.
really. It's got the 5 head
little
going.
sharp.
They probably made
Got a
her
nose
look
job.
like a little different or
Oh,
something. She
but-
almost looks older.
Hear me out. Is she bald in that?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Go back to the close up.
I don't see
It's hard
hair.
to tell.
She might be bald.
What
That would be
if
cool.
Yeah.
Is there?
What if she's using her force power to turn the saber red and convince people that she has gone to the dark side?
Force projecting a new
Little
look.
Daisy was playing possum. That's not what playing possum means, but
I mean, it might
doesn't
be.
that look wrong?
She should hold it like this and use like scissors. Try to just slice
Slicing
people up with it.
and then she trips, falls, and they go through her chest, and like, don't run with scissors, kids. I get it. It looks silly, but I remember when the Kylo Ren saber was revealed, and people were like, that's so dumb, it's so impractical. And then they even had a scene where he's pushing the cross guard into Finn. I was like, that was pretty cool. He actually, and then he, in the new trailer, he slams a dude.
Yeah.
Right? Like body
right
slams a
into
dude.
A
the
little poke.
Yeah, pretty rad. Anyway, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. In J.J. Abrams, I trust, even though it's going to be a free nostalgia throwback. I don't know.
He'll dress it up new with some lens flares.
I'll take it.
We decided we don't
Some
like when they
characters.
try new things with Star Wars.
At first we wanted it, and then we got it, and decided we didn't want
Said,
it.
go back to the way it was.
Not so new.
Less new, more new, but less. Who knows? The Last Jedi will forever be a divisive film.
yeah.
You say divisive. I don't know if I
Yeah.
say it. I don't know how to say it correctly.
I say divisive.
It divides people.
How would Daisy say it? Divisive.
But here, wait, you talk. I'll do the other part.
Divorce.
Oh, that's mean. We should
She's got
stop.
big teeth.
We should stop.
Yeah.
I love her teeth.
They show this.
I would have said
I wish I
JJ.
had those teeth. Oh my god.
JJ Star Wars would make it fashion. And he did. He put her in the white thing. Anyway.
Do you have any hot takes off this trailer release?
No.
No?
I wish I did. I wish I was more excited for this. I want to be excited. Actually, I want to be excited for. I want to be excited for the actors and the people that worked hard on this movie.
You excited for Lando's daughter?
Yeah, I am.
What's the actress's name?
Naomi
oh, it's there.
Aki?
Yeah.
Aki?
It's Jana.
I don't know how you say that.
Okay, they haven't showed any footage of her yet.
No, she was in the new one.
Oh yeah,
She's
she
in,
was
like,
in that
one
one
shot.
shot. Yeah, where she's in the ship with Finn.
I'm looking forward to us not having to rely on the stories told of yore, where they're like introducing a new character who's related to someone else you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
tangentially
know.
from another film. Like, I would love to see characters be important. Like, I thought Poe was pretty cool. How he wasn't like, son of somebody. Like, oh, this is the son
he
of
not?
Wedge and Biggs. Like, wow.
I thought he was
God
the
rest
son
his
of
soul.
somebody, though.
I mean, everyone's a son of
He's-
somebody
yeah.
or a daughter of
From
somebody.
the Resistance.
His
or-
parents were like rebellion pilots.
Is Rose not returning?
She is in the movie. Yeah.
She is. Okay.
Yeah.
She's not in any of this.
No.
Not any of this.
I mean, I think that's their.
Um,
I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Carrie Fisher
yeah,
Yeah.
me
In
too.
this movie.
Because they had to reuse footage that they'd already shot.
from Force Awakens.
Yeah, they apparently shot so much stuff that they could like there's that shot that's like very green screen, so they just changed the back plate, I guess. But I mean, if it works, it works. That's pretty cool.
Is reusing footage better than creating another CGI monstrosity?
It depends on how well they reuse it, I guess. If they're just maybe it's just like so vague a scene they could recontextualize it or something.
It's
Mark,
just a slow push in.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's in it too, right?
He has a voiceover.
Yeah.
And I think he's been like on set and stuff, so he'd probably be a ghost. or
He's in
something.
C-3PO. Well, maybe
They're
that's
all in
he's in it.
C-3PO.
All these ghosts fighting over C-3PO.
Cool.
So what?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to show up at that party and just ruin it for everybody?
Probably, because we see that desert planet a few times. There have been like some on-set photos of like the Knights of Ren on the desert
Oh,
set and stuff.
Sweet.
so that's not another just dead end from the first.
I don't think so. It's another desert planet.
I just
Pasana, I think
this
it's called.
this was the thing I think I said a while ago in another podcast. They have so much work to do in this movie. They have to introduce a threat and then like
Resolve it.
resolve it in the same movie, which is so weird to do in a trilogy where you're supposed to not have to deal with that stuff, but there's nothing really lingering from Last Jedi that they can carry over. Everything was pretty resolved, other than the Resistance will keep fighting the Order, the New Order. What's that really called again? Dark
Order.
First Order. One of the many orders.
What are the
Meanwhile, the rest of the galaxy just don't care.
Is that Endor? Do you
Is it?
reckon? It looks like
be.
California. Looks like I could drive up there in 6 hours.
I want some fucking Ewoks, man.
You'll get that. What else do you want?
Yeah. What's
Chewbacca's
Palpatine?
family's there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I could
no.
use Chewie's
Yeah.
family.
Oh man, we'll have some more to talk about with that when we talk about the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah. I will say though, I am more excited for the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that after Dan does an ad read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank Raycon for sponsoring this episode and show you guys their wireless headphones. These are pretty sweet. My favorite thing about them is they actually fit in your ear. Oh, it's talking to me already.
Whoa.
But they're really snug. I have AirPods, and they always fall out of my ears, and these stick in really well. But yeah, thanks Raycon for bringing us here this week. Raycon is here to change the game. Raycon was co-founded by Ray J because he wanted to shake the overpriced wireless audio industry to its very core. Raycon provides innovative designs at prices that don't break the bank. Their wireless earphones are offered in a range of fun colors and patterns. We've tested out the E50 eardrums. These Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet. Celebrities like Snoop Dogg and Cardi B are already obsessed. There are no dangling wires or stems unlike most other wireless options. I love that these E50s feel snug and secure in my ears. Most other earbuds that I've used feel like they're constantly about to fall out of my ears, which makes them really tough to use on the go. Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market. The price point here is amazing. Raycon's wireless earbuds look stylish, feel comfortable, and sound great too. You should definitely check them out. Go ahead and click the link in the description below to get 15% off your order. So thank you Raycon for sponsoring the show and letting us check out your E50 eardrums. Again, click the link in the description box below to get 15% off your order from Raycon. It's buyraycon.com/filmhouse. Thanks again Raycon. The E50 eardrums are really sweet. You guys should check them out. So yeah, Mandalorian is what you're more excited about there?
Only because I was talking to James about this, but as long as they don't reference anything else, like they can have imagery, that's totally fine. But if they don't pull a Solo at the end and go, "Thank you, Han Solo, for helping the rebels," and you're like, "God damn it, just be your own movie." It's such an interesting universe. I think you can do. I mean, the main character's a Mandalorian, but
Yes, I think it would be smart to not focus on it, but very, very far tangentially in the backdrop of the Mandalorian, kind of, because this is going to be taking place on the outer rim of the galaxy, right?
After Return of the Jedi too.
Yeah, so
5 to 7 years.
kind of removed from what's happening, with all the politics and stuff, but at least give us glimpses of how the First Order is coming to power. Because right now, there's really no presence of that in Star Wars. It's just like, oh yeah, the First Order. At least not in the movies or stuff. It's not they're just back in power.
Is that a cartoon thing? Do they not really establish that at all?
Well, there hasn't really been any. I guess there was that kids show that came out recently, Resistance, but this is the first thing, other than that's been on screen that takes place after the original trilogy and before the new one. And it seems look at all the stormtroopers. They're all beat up and their heads are on spikes and stuff.
Yeah, so it's let us know how this happened again in history.
Well, there was an interesting bit they did with what was it? The game Jedi Outcast, I believe, and I'm sure all those Jedi video game trilogies, which are no longer canon, obviously. But
sorry, Katarn.
I know. Rest in peace.
Kyle Katarn.
Kyle Katarn and
cool shit.
Dash Rendar.
Oh, Dash. They should recycle
Always
that show.
rendaring. That's his campaign slogan.
He's like Han Solo, but less interesting. Depending
And
on
force
which.
sensitive.
Well, Kyle Katarn was because he went into a well, and they're like, "You're Jedi now because you got Jedi
Did a
powers."
Batman?
Kind of. It's been a while since I played it, but regardless, I liked what they did with the stormtroopers because they just called them the Remnant, and they were just sort of like guns for hire, but there were just so many of them that they're like, "What do we do?" And they're like, "Work for whoever hires us, I guess."
Yeah.
And it sort of depended on what Sith was around or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I could be into that if they're just a presence, but as long as it doesn't play into the bigger story of at the very end, they go, "You need to help my son, Kylo Ren." God damn it.
Ben Solo.
Yeah.
No, I really hope they stay as much away from the Skywalkers as possible.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is I hope that the character that he's playing, did they even say his name or he's just the Mandalorian?
I think he's just a Mando is what they were calling him.
If they are what it looks like they're doing, going to the Western route, the
Yes.
sort of
Western
Sergio
Space
Leone,
Western.
Man with No Name.
with No Name. Yeah.
The what's his name? Favreau said that it was very much inspired by spaghetti westerns
Yes.
and old Kurosawa samurai films.
Yeah,
Totally
to
awesome, totally
To what
fine.
you're saying though, I'm not saying ground it in what's happening with the rest of the galaxy. I say stay on the outside, but at least like how in the Dark Souls games, everyone's like, well, they don't give you the story. You have to find it in different ways. Like, have little snippets throughout that kind of indicate what's happening.
I think as long as the character that he is and the ones that he's with, as long as their story is interesting, I'm super into it. I think that's and that this is a great opportunity to do that, where I'm sure Disney has all the oversight with like, well, according to the lore Bible that we've got, that we've rewritten, because we burned all the books like Yoda, he has to do X, Y, and Z. But if the pitch was, this is so far outside of anything else Star Wars related, the only thing you're going to see is stormtroopers. And there might be a reference or two to like, oh, when I worked for Palpatine, X, Y, and they go, oh, okay, cool. And that way they can just tell whatever story they want that is set in a universe that always just looks cool. I mean, I'm so happy to see a movie about a bounty hunter, like a Boba Fett-esque character who's also not Boba Fett, because Boba Fett kind of sucked.
So, to that question about a bounty hunter, do you think that it's going to be like Monster of the Week, Case of the Week, like he gets a new mark every episode, or do you think it's going to be like a mini movie, or do you think it's going to be a long-running narrative, a serial narrative? Episodes. There are, because like. I think you can do Monster of the Week style with him getting these things, but then I also think you're going to keep people hanging on if you have a
hopefully
stretch narrative.
They do a little balance of the two,
that seems to
where
be,
some of them are just he goes and does this.
It's a case, yeah.
That's modern. That's modern
storytelling.
Every third one ties into some larger bounty. From
maybe
his
like
past
there's a
or
mark he's
something.
chasing the whole time that's involved with some of the things he's doing.
Because that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is there going to be one big bad that he's trying to get the whole time, and then he gets kind of like distracted
filmmaker.
Dude, I am so stoked for Werner Herzog. I love this
bonkers.
guy. He's fucking nutso.
James been doing the bit at home where he does the narration of Werner Herzog over like the Star Wars universe, like the cold dark death
I haven't heard that.
into the dark sky.
He's the only voiceover in this trailer too.
He's great. I like him in. He always shows him in weird movies like Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Strange part.
I saw him once at Comic-Con just on the phone be like, no, that's not how we're going to do it. Don't make it that way. And then some guy stopped what he was doing. He's like, I gotta go. Werner Herzog is right here. I was like, leave him alone. He's an old man.
I'm my own agent.
Yeah.
He's a fucking loon.
I don't believe in
some Carl Weathers too.
Carl Weathers.
I love Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Always happy to see Carl Weathers.
Always making a stew.
Yeah, man. Him on Arrested Development was one of the best characters. Like himself.
The cast in this is pretty great. They didn't even show Pedro Pascal, but Taika Waititi's playing the IG-11 robot.
Yeah, which looks awesome.
Looks
He's all
really fucking
looks
cool.
really nuts.
Is that was it Gina Carano?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's her. Yeah. I'm not familiar with, was she MMA?
Yeah, she'll armbar you, right?
Oh, Dan, go back a little bit.
I just remember her from Deadpool.
Go back to that dinosaur.
Yeah, she was.
But do you mean the
Not
Dewback?
the Twi'lek?
No, that was. Didn't you say that
Go
was
back
somebody?
one.
The Twi'lek was somebody.
The Twi'lek is I forget her name, the actress's name. She's the one who played Tonks.
So
in, Harry Potter.
Isn't Nick Nolte doing the voice of that guy?
Oh, is
The
that
pig,
what it was?
the pig faced
he's
fella.
Man, this guy?
Yeah, I think
He
Nick.
looks like
Cloud
Nick
City.
Might be
Nolte.
Nick Nolte under
I
there.
think.
Yeah.
I know.
What do you mean under?
I'm not joking. I think Nick Nolte is just doing VO for
okay.
the character.
They did kind of he gave him the same mustache and
Yeah.
sunken eyes.
It's hard to tell
I
the
didn't know if
difference
you-
between Nick Nolte and Chris Christopherson these days, but
I don't know if you noticed, Dan, but the supposed Nick Nolte, was writing a blurg.
Is that
from
what that is?
Ewok Adventures: Battle for Endor.
But of course, Child's Play.
The sequel to Caravan of Courage. It's canon.
Ewok's movie still canon?
Tell us
like,
something we
maybe.
don't know.
Yeah. I will. Okay, the best way to watch those movies is in a sangria fueled stupor.
like even when Jacob gets drunk, it's on
Yeah.
this like really safe
Yeah,
drink.
it's like get together with some of your best bros and get
some sangria
a
going.
big jug of sangria.
Sometimes
Bones
we
did
put a
make
couple
it.
extra oranges in
Yeah.
it. It's crazy.
Bones made it, so it might have been a
Wait,
little
Bones.
more involved.
What did you call this thing again?
Blurg.
It's a blurg.
A blurg.
Yeah,
Blurg.
like somebody making Ewok Adventures probably like, Mr. Lucas, I made this creature. What should we call it? Blurg, whatever.
Well, he takes a dump in his right hand and he flings it against the wall, and whatever word that forms from his fecal matter is what he calls it.
So these aren't like regular
So Death
stormtroopers.
Troopers,
Yeah,
you fool.
they're in Rogue One.
Are they
I didn't have to say it. Thanks, Adam.
They-
are they Breaking Bad's guys? I guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays a Moff.
Gus
What's a Moff, Jacob?
Well, you like Grand Moff Tarkin.
Well,
Moff
I know, but explain it to
Hellion.
me.
It's not really a rank in the
It's not a
Empire.
military title?
It's a
like
civilian title,
It's
but
like a duke.
yeah, but it gives
Okay.
them like a large amount of power over like assets and stuff.
Okay.
So that's he's a perfect actor to play an Imperial Moff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down
He's
for
got a like little like almost Hitler stash.
I was gonna say usually they're very Nazi looking, but
it. No.
steps back from the Aryan a little bit.
Death Trooper is also one of the coolest. Rogue One, actually, the more I watch it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
I like Rogue One a lot.
I think especially after Last Jedi came out, I went, let's go back to when things were good. But I always love the
This shot
design.
is so cool.
Love the design of the Death Troopers from a visual and an audio perspective.
Yeah,
the
their
way
voices.
their voices are modulated in such a cool, unique way. And I'm like, I'm happy to see those guys come back, but I hope it serves the story. I hope it's not them going, remember these guys? They're back. If there's a reason where they're like, yeah, we had these Death Troopers. They've been basically bounty hunters themselves, or they're just guns for hire. Like they're the best ones that we've been. They're out here just trying to make a living or whatever. Like, I don't know. It looks,
This is so neat.
So cool.
Question for you guys.
was that? You're happy for me?
No, I have a question for you
Oh,
all.
yeah.
So, like, I was reading that Disney came out and said that Boba Fett did not die after, was it a Sarlacc? What's the thing?
Sarlacc,
Sarlacc? That he did not die despite being devoured by that.
Jacob can probably tell you the person who saved him. That in the original, in the expanded universe.
Who is it?
I thought he just saved himself. He just fired out
climbed
his
out.
jetpack or whatever.
Who was the guy with the weird turban? The white turban guy?
Oh, Dengar?
There it is.
Do you think Boba's going to turn up?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
I did see
out
one
there.
theory. Somebody's like, it probably is Boba Fett, and they're gonna reveal it.
No,
And was
I
like,
don't
no.
think so.
That would be a good right at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
You have Boba step in and people flip out.
Because Mandalorians.
What purpose would that serve other than
Member
berries?
berries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's your name, Mandalorian? He goes, Django. Goddamn.
Well, because Jango and Boba Fett aren't actually Mandalorians, right? They just
Jango's a
took the
Mandalorian.
Django's a
hat.
Mandalorian,
Oh, yeah.
and Boba was a clone, which, once again, did not serve the story in any way. It's the same thing as 3PO, where they go,
Yeah.
hey, what if Boba Fett was a clone of this character, Jango Fett? And you're like, oh, wow, they really set up a cool little story there where he's holding his dad's head, or at least the helmet. Because I guess in the shadow, you see his head fly out.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, my God, he's going to be such a badass in the next movie.
Now you'll remember Boba Fett is like a really annoying little boy.
Yeah. And I mean, it served the story of, and then he's older and he works for a Jedi, or a Sith rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I really hate things with lightsabers. I'll work for Darth Vader. Like, what? It didn't make any. How?
Doing it for the quiche, bud.
I feel like-
No, but it was member berries. Even back then in the prequels, they just said,
Oh.
hey, kids love Boba Fett. What if all the clones came from Jango Fett? And they're like, when I saw that happen, it was like, color me surprised.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Oh, to Elise's question, I think I think at most maybe they'll reference Boba Fett or something, because maybe like people just bunch in Mandalorians together and think they're all like in league with each other or something.
Yeah, and what's interesting, because like I guess I perceived it as like the actor that originally played Jango is Samoan.
Yeah.
So-
Tamara Morrison.
Yeah, so I thought that like Mandalorian people then would be like this homogenous race of like they'd all be Samoan. But I guess if Pedro Pascal is
Yeah, I think it's a thing
playing a
that
Mandalorian as well.
Mandalorians can kind of be anybody. Like it's like a culture you can
Oh, so
you
get
like
into
join
as
them?
well. Yeah, you're not,
Oh,
you cannot
I thought
necessarily
the
born
Mandalorian
into
was
it.
a race.
So did I.
Yeah, I mean they're all humans.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, so are we.
Yeah, that's true.
You can be a Mandalorian. Or
But
you can be a Mandalorian.
is it? So I thought it was going to be like Pitch Black's very own Furion race, as played by Vin Diesel, where they're like, he's a Furion. Like, what does that mean? He goes, he gets angry and he's they're like, oh, so the Furions can see in the dark? No, he got that done in prison. So it's really unclear what makes him special.
Yeah.
Other question. Are there going to be any discussions where people are talking about their Mandalorian midichlorian?
Oh God, that's so many syllables. It's too many.
You need to just write a rap right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's-
love this.
He was a
bit.
Mandalorian.
Everyone
He
knows
didn't
that.
have enough
Question for you
midichlorian.
So
guys.
old school.
Like,
you
is that
shoot
going to be
the
a
door.
cutaway shot? How dark do you think Disney lets this show get
It's-
for Disney Plus?
Not
There
PG-13
will-
at most.
They've said that there will be nothing rated R on
Okay.
Disney Plus.
So that's a cutaway shot. Dude getting sliced in half by a door.
We don't want people thinking.
Yeah,
Is what they said.
Put a little bit of blood on the stormtrooper helmets. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could
You
be,
didn't see it get
could
there.
be tomato
Yeah.
paste. It could be anything. Disney's
So
safe.
the reported budget on each episode is $10 million, which
Nice.
is pretty huge for a TV show.
So I will sign up for the series.
Yeah.
Probably for this show alone.
Yeah.
Which will be out the day Disney Plus launches,
Brave.
which is pretty sweet.
I mean,
What about Lady and the Tramp talking dog movie?
yeah, that looks like hot trash. But no, I'm just saying, like Game of Thrones and HBO, this show looks good enough that I'm like, they also did the story too. They said, Disney's changing the model. Hear me out. Every episode comes out a week from each other.
They're really shaking it up.
Yeah, and they're like, we know television since the beginning of time was all put out at once.
Not anymore.
we will change that every week. You will talk of the new episode that has released. So yeah, that's the other thing too. Is they're gonna keep me on for at least 10 weeks? How long?
8, I think.
8 episodes.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a good
you-
number.
You'll
That's
be
a
watching
good
The Simpsons
solid number.
too, and you'll
Yeah.
get sucked in.
Tons
Yeah.
of
The
Simpsons.
WandaVision, whatever that is.
I'm into all those things. Yeah.
Yeah. Lizzie McGuire.
High School Musical.
Hannah Montana.
So I know you were asking for it, Elise, but someone on Twitter, Mr. Elvish Presley, put the
I did
Cats
see this.
song.
Yeah, that's
I did
great.
see this.
Oh,
Let's see.
Was
This-
it Memories? Is the name of the song?
I love it.
and it matches up surprisingly well.
Yeah. But I mean, I wonder how many just epic trailers you could put it under.
Yeah.
It's garbage without Josh Groban. Man,
Idris Elba going all like.
They
like-
should have just inserted that shot of
This
Idris.
song can only be sung by an old woman.
you should still keep the VO. You are cat.
Yeah.
Dark, evil cat.
I love Werner Herzog, man.
Yeah.
What? I was doing Pedro Pascal.
Oh. All right, we don't have to watch all this.
Yeah.
You guys can find this. It's actually quite fun.
There's
Yeah.
that part where he pulls out, he's got the rifle out and the gun, he's pointing at stormtroopers. But his rifle is Boba Fett's rifle from the Star Wars Holiday Special, Dan.
The weird fork prong thing.
Yeah.
You sent Adam away.
Where he's riding a dinosaur.
Adam's gone.
We still got a
He'll
little
be
bit of
back.
podcast to do.
He'll be
Yeah.
back. Anyway, I thought that was clever. I wanted to share
Yeah.
with you.
I wonder
I
if
thought
it.
I was going to be fresh on that.
Oh,
but
I did see it.
Elise is all in Twitter.
wonder if it's almost indicative of how unoriginal
What
the
else
Hollywood
did you
the
throw
Hollywood
out? The
promotion
pacing?
machine. Well, it's like there's a formula you follow to a trailer.
Yeah.
You know, and so you can kind of
that
copy
might-
and paste that.
It's probably exactly what that is.
Could have been cut by the same trailer house.
True. Yeah.
Anyway, we don't have to wait too long for The Mandalorian. I'm pretty
Nope.
stoked.
Couple
You got
months.
one right now? You got
What?
some of that Mandalorian? Gimme.
Gimme. So we got a little bit of time left. There was really no new news about the Obi Wan Disney Plus show, other than the fact that I guess a week or two ago they announced Ewan McGregor did sign on to do a Disney Plus show about Obi Wan. I don't think we know anything about it, but it sounds fun. I guess was it you that was making the point that it seems like Disney might be paying attention to
Yeah.
what fandom is into? Because,
Yeah.
you know, the internet's huge into Ewan from those prequels. even though
Yeah.
they're
I pointed
kinda
to
trash.
I pointed to this because that's what they did. They were like, people seem to really like Ewan McGregor. How can we capitalize on
That
this?
was
Yeah.
said since day
Yeah.
one, though.
I mean-
And after, like, they were going to do
No,
that
he's
movie.
in a specific episode of Funhaus.
what?
Nothing.
Huh? Oh, no. I'm just saying, even when people were trashing the prequels, when they came out,
Yeah.
they said, well, they're not great except for Ewan McGregor.
But I think with like the backlash against Last Jedi, it's like a member berries where people are now like, we should have been better to Ewan McGregor.
I always said, like, he seemed to be the only guy on set who seemed to, like, know what he was doing.
Watch the movies.
Yeah, and I'm sure George Lucas was like, just make it good. Just do your thing. And he's like, you got
Louder
it.
and faster.
Yeah, and he played the character perfectly. He was the best parts of those movies, even when he was doing shit that made zero sense, like shoot a bad guy with a gun. Don't know why a Jedi's doing that, but here we are. Totally fine. I guess it's allowed. That's fine.
Because we talked about it a little. Are we going to see Liam Neeson? Are we going to get the Neeson back?
Maybe. I was just thinking about this, actually, because the last thing that someone says to Obi-Wan in a Star Wars movie is like, hey, Qui-Gon's going to talk to you. And he's going to teach you how to live forever.
I remember
So
that.
maybe we'll get some spooky Liam Neeson ghost coming back.
You hear him. So in, was it Force Awakens, you do hear Qui-Gon a little bit, and you do hear that Ian McGregor did record VO for Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
It was brief, and he just had that line where what does he say?
He says, "These are your first steps."
Yeah.
And they had Alec Guinness say Ray by like cutting something that he said in the whole
Ray.
movie. And then Ewan McGregor like whispers a line.
which is awesome and cool. But yeah, I think do you hear Qui-Gon? I thought.
I don't know about Qui-Gon. Maybe.
Maybe
I hear a lot of voices.
I could be misremembering that.
You're Yoda.
In that flashback thing?
Yeah.
Ah, well, there you go.
So I guess there's a theory that not too long ago there was an Obi Wan movie happening before Solo. I guess didn't do well enough. Still made a shit ton of money. People say it tanked, but
not enough
whatever.
money for Disney.
So maybe Disney took whatever that script or those ideas were and are now turning it into an 8-episode show.
This is what I
for
heard
Disney Plus
from inside the biz.
Oh, you got inside.
This was from someone who works in the Hollywood system who made a good point, who said people don't want to see Han Solo, they want to see Harrison Ford. And Disney went, shit, who's still alive? Ian McGregor. There's still time to do a Obi-Wan series show because the actor who could portray him is still at an age that he can play the role.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense than doing a Han Solo movie, because maybe this is the thing that they learned their lesson, or they're like, yeah, no one wants to see a movie about Han Solo because no one really cares about the character. They're more interested in the actor Harrison Ford.
And with the time period that it's taking place in, like 11 years before A New Hope, it's like that's Ewan McGregor is like the age he would be if Obi-Wan had just kept going from the end of Revenge of the Sith.
So you think he's gonna have some like desert romps? Is that the whole?
I kind of imagine a kung fu wandering warrior, where he's just kind of I guess maybe hiding his Jedi powers, because aren't all the Jedi being hunted down? But I think it'd be fun if it was like a Conan style where you just cut to different little time periods in that 10-year span or whatever.
And I think James and I were talking about this because he kind of was just like, I've been hiding in a cave. Now to be like, I wasn't. Like, well, what happened?
Well, he had his house. He has like a house up in some mountains where he is close enough to Luke to keep an eye on him. Yeah. But far away from everybody else because he's just a desert hermit now.
I mean, that could have been the thing where it was like, yeah, he's a desert hermit this whole time. But one time, someone's like a John Wick situation, like, I'm calling in a blood favor. And he's like,
they give him a coin.
Yeah, and he goes, anything for you, boss Nass. And then he's got to go back to Naboo, and man, Jar Jar comes, the gang's all back together.
Yeah, Luke will be fine for a couple days.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I could leave him. I'll be back. Sorry, this has been a podcast of me just doing dumb voices.
It's been great, Adam.
I love Star Wars voices. They're my favorite.
I think Obi-Wan show could be cool.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dexter
Jetster.
He goes, Obi-Wan.
Oh, he comes. They'll get back together.
We gotta get the team back together.
My Dexter.
My diner.
He works in the 50s
business.
diner.
Yeah.
Oh. Back to the diner.
How could you forget that?
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
There's a character. Speaking of Dexter Jetster. It's from the TV show, who's got folding in half double lightsabers, like Rey. He's like Dexter Jetster, but he's jacked.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'll send you the clip so you don't have to watch a whole episode of TV, but it's
Appreciate
awesome.
Thank you.
Well, even I saw the clip, maybe it was Star Wars Rebels or whatever, but the little dude on Star Tours, do you remember him? What's his name?
Rex,
yeah.
He's the DJ now in the cantina.
He's been demoted. Yeah, so he showed up in an episode, I think, of Star Wars Rebels or something.
Yeah.
Where the guy in the ship, and he's like, it's the voice of Pee Wee Herman. What's his face?
Paul Rubin.
Paul Rubin, yeah, Rubens. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. They're at least he's part of the canon, I guess. But now he's
it's Star Tours.
But I know, yeah, that's the crazy thing. But if you go to the cantina at Star Wars Land now, Rex is a DJ.
Yeah, he's out of a job again.
And I had heard I think I've talked about this before, but they legally can't play the Cantina song because John Williams actually owns the rights to that song.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So there's like a remix of it, or like something that kind of sounds like it, but
he was like, okay for Lego games, but not for anything else.
Seems to be his thing. I mean, yeah, he's a man of the people.
I'm excited to see just Ewan McGregor in this role again, because it'll be super weird to see him playing that character after
come back older.
14
wiser.
years.
Grayer.
Yeah.
He's only gotten hotter. The older he's gotten. He looked great in Train Spotting too. It's also a great sequel. Definitely worth checking out. But I don't know. He was the best part of those movies. He'll be the best. He'll be good in this. It's fine. He's got to just get back. Like, what if he's missing the rent on his hut, and he's like, he needs money, and they're like, we got a job for you.
Job of the Hut. I need more money for my hut.
Yeah, I really want it to be a sitcom.
A sitcom?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm done.
You're
I'm
mad
over
because you
this.
didn't
I'm
come
over
up with it
this.
first.
Maybe I am.
You love puns. What do you want out of a Obi-Wan Disney Plus show, Elise?
I want
Like joy.
him to find Jar Jar. I want it to be
The
that
search for Jar Jar?
he's heard that Jar Jar has fallen on hard times, and he's going
juggling
looking
for
for
money.
him.
Putting
Yeah.
the team back together.
Giving BJ's on the corner of Naboo or whatever.
He's got that
for-
tongue.
Oh,
God, he walks in on what's that one bounty hunter dude with the teeth? What's his race?
Oh,
the one with the teeth?
No, remember in is it when they're, I think it's Empire, when they're like all the Jedis and they see his foot and they look up at him.
Bosk?
Yeah, what's Boss? What's his
He's a
race?
Trandoshan.
So yeah, what
They're
if,
like lizard guys.
yeah,
Lizard Man, yeah.
So yeah, we cut to
Costume, Halloween costume.
yeah, we we got the Jar Jar blowing this character,
Bosk.
Nass or whatever. Or,
Close enough.
I forget his name. Either way, and then he's like, Jar Jar, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, Mito, look at Misa.
He's so ashamed.
Yeah.
He's a big doo-doo.
Oh, Misa got protein in my hair.
Oh,
I've seen a lot of people saying that, like, oh man, finally gonna get, like, they're gonna get Ray Park and they're gonna fight again or something like that for
What?
Obi-Wan.
No.
I've always, like, been firmly in the camp that, like, they're done with Darth Maul. Except for they have
showed
another
him-
Clone
Him in
Wars series,
Solo,
right?
Except they showed him in Solo, but that was also
Yeah.
just
That was
Is he
good.
like a
nothing.
crime lord or
Yeah,
something?
people thought that was gonna be something. I think it's gonna be nothing. It was just
what
a.
if it is?
It was just a little nod to all the people
What?
that watch TV shows.
What if it is? What if it is?
You guys good on Star Wars?
Never.
I can't get
Pretty
enough.
hype.
Yeah.
We're going to get a lot of it at the end of this year.
It's like the first live action Star Wars TV shows we've ever gotten.
It's
They
pretty
talked
amazing.
about him for years.
Oh yeah, like all the time.
Yeah.
Lucas was making one for a while, but it was too expensive. They wrote like 50 episodes and
No.
decided it was going to cost $20 million an episode, which
But now-
at the time was too much.
Now that Star Wars is its own economy,
yeah,
because it's how Disney deems it. Because yeah, it needs to either be the biggest thing in the world or nothing. Maybe there's enough assets floating around that they can make a show sustainable. It doesn't have to be a one-off. It's something you can come back to, or you can reuse props or something like that. But anyway, either
it's
way,
gone forever.
I think it's fine.
Jar Jar TV show. Ahmed
Is
Best.
that the next Disney Plus show?
Yeah.
Jar Jar Nass coming this summer to the CW or some other trash station where they just, I don't know, UPN. I don't think it exists anymore. K-Cop.
All right, thanks for coming around this week, you guys. Thanks for being here to talk about Star Wars. Thanks again to Raycon for sending us some earbuds to check out. I appreciate it. Thanks for sponsoring the episode. And I guess in the comments, let us know what your crazy Episode 9 theories are. Was Rey a clone? Is it a dumb vision? What are they going to do? Let us know what you think. And thanks again for coming around. Bye, everybody.
Dan will apply to all of them.
Yeah. I'll see you in 6 months for the next podcast.
Okay.
It's like 2 months away.
Oh fuck.
It never
Bye.
ends. Bye.
Sony should just give us Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Pretend like Tom Holland never existed.
Yeah.
Bring back Andrew Garfield.
Bring back the
Love
Garf.
it.
There we go.
Bring back
Mark Webb.
Rhino, and then Green Goblin,
It picks
or,
up right
or
there.
whatever happened.
Yeah,
The
do it for the
Sinister
fans.
Six. We get this in. We just pick up, go back to the old costume that doesn't blink.